Like Amber said, it was so theatrical. It was almost like he's taking these every time he can get in front of the camera as a chance to just put on, because he knows that he's not gonna be able to put on for much longer. Like, so he's just taking advantage of these chances that he gets to talk, and people are still listening to what he has to listening to him. Because even though we all know that he's guilty, we're still watching all of the shit and still going and hearing the same story repurposed, over and over again. So,
what do you think? What was his legal advice? They wanted him to do that, or did it just go wrong? I mean,
I don't
honestly,
think they want.
like,
I don't think. I can't see them wanting him to be like that much of a character.
Yeah.
I think that's just him.
Yeah.
Any good PR team, one, you ain't doing that interview at all. Two, if you're doing the interview, it's not going to be 80 minutes long. Like, apparently, like, even when he started acting crazy, it took a second for, like, somebody to come in and be like, all right, you need to sit down, like his publicist. And it was a black dude, and I'm just like, man, you ain't no real publicist, because there's no way you would allow, like, how damaging is this interview going to be to his case?
Right.
Man, I would have talked his ass.
About the new case, and now the girls are going to be interviewed tomorrow. And that video, like, I can't even. It's just really sad at this point. But I mean, they're probably going to testify on his behalf. But yeah, it just seemed like a bad idea from the jump. I don't understand why they would agree to.
He needed a Bobby Brown in the room. Y'all remember that Whitney Houston interview? When they was asking Whitney, I didn't even know Bobby was in the room because he wasn't in the scene. And apparently he was like right beside him, and they asked Whitney, was it Diane Sawyers, whatever her name was, Barbara
Walters.
Barbara Walters. And she was like, Whitney, has Bobby ever put his hands on you? And you hear him, like he needed his publicist to like tackle him out that chair, like, this is over, like, you not airing it. So I partly blame his publicist for allowing that to go on for 80 minutes, because the 6-7 minutes that we saw was already explosive, and it doesn't help his case, in my opinion, at all. Even if you were like a stand for him and you were like, yeah, but he denying it and they're just out to get him. After that interview, I just don't see how you could be on his side. I just don't.
Right, and it's just like Amber said, if you can't, the only way you allow him to go on into that interview is if you know he's going to go on camera and be remorseful. Show some compassion, show some sort of empathy.
His whole logic.
Or remorse. Or anything. That's the only. Yeah, it was the opposite. Only way you would let him get on. That's the only way you let him go on.
He played victim, and then you're right. She was like a beast in that interview, because even when she said, she was asking him like, "Have you ever had sex with an underage girl?" And then he was doing this like, gymnastics type thing where he just turned himself into a pretzel, and he was like, "I don't look at age, I just look at legal. Like, if it's legal, then I don't care about the age." It could be 45 or it could be 18. As long as it's legal, that's the only thing I care about. Which then he admits that he likes young girls. That was a disaster for him. And then I think the funny part is when she said they went to his apartment and that thing was 90 degrees in there.
You've been at your grandma. You've been at your grandmama's house. You go to your grandmama's house and it's always anywhere from 5 to 12 degrees.
Oh, you didn't see that? I don't know if it was on this interview, but they showed, maybe it was on the extended clip. So part of the 80-minute interview, they went back to his apartment at Trump Tower in Chicago, and she was saying how he has a Christmas tree up because he was real close with his mom, and when his mom passed, that was her favorite holiday. So he keeps a Christmas tree up year round. And then she said it was like 90 degrees in there. And he said it was so hot because he was trying to protect his voice because he had to sing later that night or something crazy. Yeah. So there's definitely going to be more shenanigans because you posted the clip of the his, I don't know what to call them. He said girlfriends.
Live-in girlfriends.
Hold up. So these are current current girls that are involved with him, or are these just girls that are accusers?
Yeah. Did you see the documentary?
I only saw the first 2 parts.
Oh, okay. There's 2 girls that are still like living with him. Like during one of the episodes, I think it was like part 3. Like this mom figured out a way. She found her daughter because she was being held against her will, and she ended up getting her to escape with her. Now, granted, she went back like 3-4 days later, which is crazy. But eventually she got free from him. But there are 2 girls that are still with R. Kelly, and one of them, Joycelyn, she's like the madam of the girls. Like she's the one. She's kind of like his main or whatever. And her parents have made all these videos, press conferences, trying to like plead for her to come home, and she's gotten on camera when you can tell somebody was like in the back, but she's gotten on camera to say that she's not being held against her will, that they're together and her parents are lying. And then there's another girl, I guess she went to the R. Kelly concert with her parents. They were interviewed, I think, in part 3 or 4. And she got on stage to sing, and her parents were, which is crazy to me. First of all, I ain't going to an R. Kelly concert. Second of all, I'm not putting my teenage daughter
exactly.
on stage. But you know, nevertheless, she ended up starting to sneak out the house and going to meet him like at the studio and things like that until one day she just didn't come back. So they haven't seen her in like 2 years. Like she came back for her high school graduation, and then she just disappeared.
It must be
this video that this interview is like the first time they're seeing her in like 2-3 years.
Yeah, I think so. That's crazy with that background because he talked about it and he blamed. So part of it though, if you listen to him, and I'm not defending R. Kelly, but it sounds like some like abducted in plain sight type stuff because R. Kelly said that a partner of his knew her parents, her dad got in contact with his friend and said, I want to put I'm taking my daughter to the concert. I want her to be on the stage. And this is when she was 17. I want her to be on the stage so she can get noticed because, you know, and he can mentor her in music. That's how they met. So R. Kelly's whole argument is like, he sold his daughter to me. Like he gave his daughter to me. This is exactly what he wanted. Like he wanted this to happen to his daughter. What kind of parent or man or mother gives their child to somebody? That's what they did. Now they're just crying foul because they're not getting paid.
Wow.
Yeah, which is so crazy of him to say. But yeah, he was like, they basically handed their daughters to me. If they believed I would do X, Y, Z, why would they sell their daughters to me? So it's like,
and he admit that, and then Gayle said, well, they said that you had sex with her at 17, and they have text messages to prove it. And he said, no, I did not. And then she's like, so you ain't never had sex with her when she was 17, even though they got text messages to prove it. And he's like, they could text anything. That's just allegations, blah, blah, blah. And then he admitted, she said, well, how old is she now? And he said 21. And then Gayle said, well, what are you guys now? He said, that's my girlfriend. So he admits that they have a relationship now, but he wants us to believe that he waited until she was of age to do it.
And Azriel, she's the darker skinned one, she's crying in the video. She'll be on the interview basically saying that her parents told her to lie to him and everybody and say that she was 18. So he believed that she was 18. So I guess this is their way of covering up the fact that he did actually sleep with her at 17 because she's admitting that she lied about her age. Yep. So he's not at fault. Like the whole thing is just.
Wait, does that help you with statutory rape anyway?
I have no idea.
I don't think that. I think the burden, like if a child says I'm 18 and they 15, the parents still can say, I don't care what she told you. She's a child. Like that ain't like a defense, I don't think, is it? I would hope not.
Yeah. I'm not sure about that, but it sounds flimsy if it is.
Yeah, it sounds flimsy. Because otherwise they were like, I told him I was 18, and then the PED would get off based on that. So I don't know.
All right, I got a question. So first, the part where she brought up him being abused and how that had an effect on him, and he said, "Nope, didn't have any effect on me." Just like so easy, so quick, or whatever. And then that whole little spiel there, that was when I was just kind of That's when I was kind of like, this dude is.
What Dave Chappelle say?
This dude really thinks he's a victim. This dude really is out of touch. Just like Gayle said when they did the little segue, when they went back in the studio for a little bit, how he just was out of touch with everything.
I thought about
or whatnot.
When you told us what Dave Chappelle said about Jesse, what all black people said.
That nigga lied.
That when he said that's what came to my mind.
Yeah. It's same. I was like, all right, I can't even like. I was like, all right, I can't even begin to believe anything this dude was saying now. Like, come on. So my question for y'all is, after these two girls, after their interview comes out, so we got the Kelly interview, we got the girls. Where do we go from here? Where do we have like Black Twitter, like that are been following this whole thing? Like we're just and we've all we've been through we've watched even I watched 2 parts of the show. I watched these interviews, so we've all been kind of with this the whole way. When are we jumping off of this and like, okay, we are done with you, Kellz. You are guilty. You are a piece of shit, sociopath. We're done. We're not entertaining your story anymore.
Yeah.
Did he have to go to court and get actually convicted before that happens?
No, because I
feel like it's already happened. Like, I feel like most people are done with him. The only people that aren't done with him are people that are psychotic fans that, are paying his bail and getting him out of jail and still, making signs outside the courthouse. But even if
Amber, I'm not even talking about from a support perspective. I'm just talking about how we're engaged in the story. When are we going to jump off the story? Not even necessarily the people that are still like riding for him. I mean, I can't even formulate how many words I would have for them.
I think this is one of those ones, man, that's going to be this is something that we will be talking about forever. And it's not even like Bill Cosby, because like Bill Cosby caught everybody by surprise. Apparently, like within the industry, people knew and they made Bill Cosby jokes on the inside. But like I had no idea Bill Cosby was doing all that. I've known about R. Kelly and his stuff since 2002. So it's just been ongoing, and now it's only going to get worse because it's probably the tip of the iceberg. Like once they do like the discovery and they go to court and they lay it all out, I mean, it's going to be one of those things you just always talk about, and partly because his music is so popular. So I don't know. I think this dude.
I think at the end of the day, no matter how, what people say about these victims, alleged victims, women from the past, they have to realize that, justice needs to be had. Like, he needs to serve his time. He needs to own, even if he denies it to his death, like, I think people will be satisfied once he is convicted. I mean, to be honest, I feel like that's how the documentary came about anyway, because women started to come forward and they wanted their voice heard, regardless of the fact that the girl that was in the first video and her family denied it was her. Now you have all these women that are speaking their truth, coming on, a documentary saying, this man gave me chlamydia, this man gave me herpes, I did X, Y, and Z to him, and women and girls lived in filth. Like, They put themselves through all of this. It's only right that something comes of it, and I think that's what these new counts against him. I think without the documentary, we wouldn't be here.